Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Salsabila Annisa Rohma from Extensive Reading G, and today I would like to present about biography report. And the biography is from Anne Frank. Anne Frank, in full analyst Mary Frank, born June 12, 1929, Frankfurt am Main, Germany, died February or March 1945. Bergen-Belsen concentration camp near Hanover. Jewish girl was diary of her family's 2 years in hiding during the German occupation of the Netherlands became a classic of war literature. Early in the Nazi regime of Adolf Hitler and his father, Otto Frank, a German businessman, took his wife and 2 daughters to live in Amsterdam. In 1941, after German forces occupied the Netherlands, Anne was compelled to transfer from a public school to a Jewish one. On June 12, 1942, she received a red and white plaid diary for her 13th birthday. That day she began writing in the book, "I hope I will be able to confide everything to you, as I have never been able to confide in anyone, and I hope you will be a great source of comfort and support." When Anne's sister Margaret was faced with deportation, the Frank went into hiding on July 6, 1942, in the backroom office and warehouse of Otto Frank's food products business. With the aid of a few non-Jewish friends, among them Meat Gives, who smuggled in food and other supplies, the Frank family and 4 other Jewish Germans in August van Pels and their son Peter and Fritz Faber lived confined to the secret annex. During this time, Anne wrote faithfully in her diary, recounting day-to-day life in hiding, from ordinary annoyances to the fear of capture. She discussed typical adolescent issues as well as her hopes for the future, which included becoming a journalist or a writer. Anne's last diary entry was written on August 1, 1944. 3 days later, the annex was discovered by the Gestapo, which was acting on a tip from Dutch informers. The Frank family was transported to Watersburg, a transit camp in the Netherlands, and from there to Auschwitz in German-occupied Poland on 3 September 1944. On the last transport to leave Watersburg for Auschwitz, Anne and Margaret were transferred to Bergen-Belsen the following month. Anne's mother died in early January, just before the evacuation of Auschwitz on January 18, 1945. It was established by the Dutch government that both Anne and Margaret died in typhus epidemic in March 1945, only weeks before the liberation of Bergen-Belsen, but scholars in 2015 revealed new research, including analysis of archival data and first-person accounts indicating that the sister might have perished in February 1945. Otto Frank was found hospitalized at Auschwitz when it was liberated by Soviet troops on January 27, 1945. Friends who searched the hiding place after the family's capture later gave Otto Frank the papers left behind by the Gestapo. Among them, he found Anne's diary, which was published as Anne Frank, the Diary of a Young Girl. Precious in Precious in style and insight, it traced her emotional growth amid adversity. In it she wrote, "I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart." The diary, which has been translated into more than 65 languages, is the most widely read diary of the Holocaust, and Anne is probably the best known of Holocaust victims. The diary was also made into a play that premiered on Broadway in October 1955, and in 1959 it won both the Tony Award for Best Play and the Pulitzer Prize for Best Drama. A film version directed by George Stevens was produced in 1979. The play was controversial. It was challenged by screenwriter Meyer Levin, who wrote an early version of the play, and accused Otto Frank and his chosen screenwriters, Franz Goodrich and Albert Hague, of sanitizing and Judaizing the story. The play was often performed in high school throughout the world and was revived on Broadway in 1997 until 1998. A New English translation of the diary published in 1995 contains material that was edited out of the original version, which makes the revised translation nearly one-third longer than the first. The Frank family's hiding place on Prinsen's Canal in Amsterdam became a museum that is consistently among the city's most visited tourist sites. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.